It's a great shot.
Oh, yeah.
Here we are back with the Method Actor Speaks. And introduce yourself.
Big Cat Daddy.
Big Cat Daddy. And we have the lovely town, Karen Summers. I want to talk to you, we were talking earlier, this is part 3, folks. What I really want to talk to you about, I'm a member of the Actors Studio, and actually tomorrow I have a couple actors from the Actors Studio. We're talking about 3 different things. And you would have been great for the 4th. Because we're talking about, I have Carmine Caridi, who was the original Godfather, Sonny. He was supposed to play Sonny in the original Godfather.
Okay.
Then we have Tom Bauer, and I have Joycelyn Liu. Now, when Carmine does gangster films, they call them violent films.
Right.
When Tom does cowboys, they call it episodes. When Joycelyn does karate, kung fu, it's called action film. But it's all violence.
Right.
You know?
Right, okay.
So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But what I want to talk to you two about is an idea that you've given me as a member of the Actors Studio, which was started by the Group Theater.
Wow.
And the Group Theater started because directors, writers, they wanted to start producing, they wanted to produce their own shows. And you guys, you've been around the point, you know everybody in the adult industry.
I did.
To get a group together, which I think would be wonderful, where you can get a group together of writers, directors, actors, actresses, and form your own group and start creating there, like Mary Pickford did with United Artists.
Right, right.
Or group, you know,
Yeah.
Ailey Kazan started the Group Theater with actors, and who came along, Marlon Brando and all the rest. But to do this is to teach the work that you want to teach, to get those stories out there. You have all the connections, and you have the fame. I mean, you have the fame, and that's what you need. You know, you need the person with the fame, and you have the background.
I honestly don't know a lot of the major players anymore. I did, but again, I'm just back, since March. Dipped my toe in. 1st of March, ran into Nina in Vegas, and by the end of March, I was like, what do you think? Will you help me with this if I have to do all of this? And he said he would. And so I don't know the people. Now, it seems as though so many people want to own their own thing that, say I got somebody to back me, I could create something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, other than the people who were in it back in the day when I'm considered a golden era girl.
Right.
Those are the people back then, maybe that was possible. Nowadays, everybody, I could sit here with a video camera and shoot and throw it online.
Right.
In all these webcam places and make money off it. People just, not many that I'm aware of yet. Again, I'm just back, and I've only had 2 opportunities to be around them in, at large, and everybody's out for themselves.
Well, Karen, you're right in a sense, and it's a great idea that they can make the money off the webcams, but that also allows them the time and the money to pursue the craft of acting.
I'd like it.
You know, to learn, because they're making the money on the side.
I'd like to make real feature films again.
You have to promote that too.
Well, the biggest issue there's a few very large pressing issues in the adult industry. One is the amount of free stuff that I don't need to be a member of anything. I don't need to go to the store.
Right.
I can download as much pornography as my heart. Now, it may not be of the actors that I necessarily want, but if I have an interest, I can go online and type in that interest and download 100 videos and not have to pay a dime for it.
But the thing is, Kat, what I'm trying to point out too is that that's great.
Right.
But you also, there are people in the business like Karen who want to act. They want to learn the craft.
Well, what I'm saying is there's so much within the adult industry, there's so much competition between all the producers as well. They're forced to, as one of her longest comrades that she's known in business, Bill Markle, when we first talked to her, I talked to him about that. Flat said, you're not going to make the same money as you made back in the day.
No.
You have to work like 10 times harder to make that kind of money.
The merchandise. It's about merchandising
so
now.
Like the webcam girls, they can't focus on their craft. They're spending 10, 12 hours a day online in front of a camera, talking to people just so they can, get some money. Those companies that are making those feature films, these are long-time companies. Vivid is one.
Vivid, Wicked.
Those guys have been around a long time.
That one with Seymour Butts has remember he had the one on Showtime.
Yeah.
And in regard to like Hollywood studios, they protect their talent. In that regard, so there's only a few companies that really like protect their talent or even try to grow their talent.
Well, it's also too that if you want to cross over,
I'd like very much to cross over.
That's what. This is the point I'm trying to make too. If you can learn acting and learn how to do the work, so that when they do call for that stripper, that they use a lot of, for background. People that are willing to get naked, and you can if you get lucky enough, they give you a line or something, and they see, wow, you know how to work. Stand up. I did a movie. It's called The Black Dahlia.
Okay.
Now very short scene I had in there, very short. But Tom Bauer, who's actually coming on the show tomorrow, I had so many compliments from doing that scene. You could hardly see me, but this is what I'm trying to point out. If you learn how to learn how to act, and you get that moment on the crossover that you can stand out, you're ready for it. That's the idea of what I'm trying to get across.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they have to learn, not so much because she's willing to learn, but they have to learn that it's so easy to cross over now. They want you there. But they don't. They want people who can act, too.
Absolutely.
But when they did Showboats, Showgirls.
Showgirls.
I was up for that. And they gave it to Robert Dalby. He got the part. But I remember, and they had real strippers in there. And go doing this and that. And if they could have acted,
they could have. There are no small parts.
Right, it's really true.
If your presence is there, your presence is there.
They have to be, if they want to do it, they have to do the work. That's what it's called. We call it the work. If you look at Actors Studio, the motto is we do the work. We don't say we do the acting, we do the work.
Right.
Well, some of my favorite, actors and actresses. One, I'm a huge fan of Sandra Bullock.
Yes, I like her myself.
Because when she plays the part that she plays, you feel what she's going through. You're right there with her.
She has a life going on in there.
Brad Pitt by everybody's standards is one of the most handsome men on the planet. But because I'm obviously I'm not gay in that regard, and he's a good-looking man, but he acts. Right. You feel everything that he talks about. You're right there with the character.
He's the new Robert Redford to me.
Oh, absolutely.
He's looking more and more and reminding me more and more of Robert Redford.
I met him when he first became famous. Before he became famous, I had my dear friend of mine, Tina Louise, played Ginger.
Yeah.
She did a movie where she played his mother, and I went to did a screening with her.
Yeah.
And I remember we were having dinner. I think he was going out. I forgot her name, but we were having dinner, and I told him, "You're going to be famous." And then Thelma and Louise came out afterward.
Right.
And that shot him right to start.
Oh, absolutely.
There you go.
But I knew him before.
Before.
I have that. Well, what I'm saying is,
I love Johnny Depp.
My favorite. Yeah.
Well,
I love Johnny Depp because he plays these odd, off the wall.
He's willing to go out there and be feminine.
Exactly. He's willing to go there.
That's the thing I'm saying about adult actors. They're willing to go there.
Exactly.
Well, and I had the opportunity to be with this woman, every day.
Right.
So I get to see, many signs of her personality. And they're all fun and quirky and weird and strange and, all these kinds of things. And so I know she would do well in a mainstream part if she got one.
I could see it right away.
I wouldn't even know where to go.
I could see that in her writing when I looked at her on Facebook.
Yeah.
That she could do these other parts.
Absolutely.
Because she was willing to go there at her age.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is some of the talent that I've met, obviously because of her, I have to look at them going, and I have to look at them kind of like people would say, look at Brad Pitt and go, she's pretty. That's all she's got going for her. Yeah. Where you have, she's got much more than a sexy body and a beautiful face. She has a lot.
That does help, though.
She has a lot. It does help, but it's not the end all be all.
No.
There's a lot of wonderfully sexy, beautiful women who come to Hollywood who end up going back to Iowa.
They look sexy, but are they sexy?
There's a difference. There's a difference between having a beautiful body and wonderful curves and being sexy. And I told her there's also a difference between being beautiful. There's a difference. You can be beautiful and not sexy. You can be sexy and not beautiful. You can be beautiful, sexy, but there's something about you that just makes people kind of turn their head a different way.
Did you ever see The Rose Tattoo or Hobbies Descending? Anna McGanny.
What?
She's a very
Sounds familiar, but
The Fugitive Kind was the movie with Marlon Brando.
Okay.
Very famous Italian actress, and she did. She was the sexiest woman I ever saw in my life. Anthony Quinn said that. Anthony Francioso, who told me told me to say, this is the sexiest woman they ever met. If you look at a photo of her, Anna Mangani, from The Rose Tattoo, or all the movies she did. She's one famous from Italy. Wasn't good looking. Didn't have a perfect body. She just had that raw sex that came out of it. I mean, you just looked at her, you got an erection.
That's another thing for me, like in today's business, I'm not the young 20-year-old blonde blue-eyed thing I used to be. I'm a woman. I have an AARP card. I just turned 52 last Tuesday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Quick story about birthday. We were talking earlier. I went to a swing party in New York. A guy gave his wife 5 guys for her birthday. She wound up getting 6 because I jumped in there too.
You were the wish candle on the cake, right?
There you go.
But the thing besides that is that I've always said, like, I'm not a glamour girl. I never have been.
But you're very sexy.
Don't have that look. But I'm better in person or in action than I ever was. I always did better on film than I did in photo. Unless it's this goofy, funny photo thing, because I'm a smiler. And there's not a photo shoot I ever did, no matter how sexy or erotic we were trying to be. If you look through all the pictures, at some point I'm laughing. Or smiling big, or, it just, I'm better in action. And that's why, like today, I'm trying to get around, they call them go-sees now, where you go and introduce yourself. And people are, being a cougar.
But that's what this will do for you, too.
This is wonderful. Being a cougar, there's a lot of companies who won't even talk to me.
Of course, yeah.
But I was surprised anyway. Like I said, when I ran into Nina and she goes, "What are you doing? My God, you look fabulous." Actually, she grabbed my boobs and said, "Why aren't you making money with these?" And of course I have to hug her and kiss her. It didn't occur to me when I left and when I came back. Well, I went out and got my licenses in hell.
Well, I think
I was a paralegal for 10 years.
One of the things about you is that, you're not afraid to, you're not afraid to be sad when you need to be sad. You're not afraid to be happy when the situation calls for it. You're not afraid to be who you are in the situation as it calls for. And as an actor or an actress, you can't. It's kind of sometimes there's just some things you can't teach.
No, yeah.
Either
you have it or you don't. It's called presence. That's, and you have that.
Yeah, you can.
Yay.
You can teach them lines. You can teach them techniques.
Right.
The one thing you can't teach people, and I used to DJ weddings and stuff and things like that. I can teach you all the skills and techniques I have, but if you don't have it within yourself to let that out, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
Same thing with acting. If you are in front of the camera, afraid to let those emotions, if the scene calls for being happy and you, for some odd reason, you have a hard time being happy, you can't teach that.
No, that's what emotional memory comes in.
Yeah, if you have a hard time,
well, that's what
processing
acting
sadness
is about. And,
well, yeah.
you know, for people
And also,
to have to,
you gotta, acting is the one thing. It's reacting.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. There
That's
are
what
things
acting
done.
is. It's reacting.
There are things done, and I'm told that I'm like a woman of a million faces because my emotions cross my face, and
well, that's good.
and that's a good thing. But in the X-rated business or adulted business, they're not interested in my face.
Well, you got to break the rules there. It's can I ask you something?
Very much.
How do you when I watch pornos and this and that? The one thing that always turned me off was when a girl was going down on a guy, and then she looks up. While she was giving head, I could go into fantasy that she was giving it to me.
Right.
But as soon as she looked up at the guy, it just took me right out of the scene.
Honestly,
the emotion.
I would disagree with you. For me, that's
when she looks up.
Everybody's different.
When you look down and she's looking up at you.
No, not at me. I'm talking about if I'm watching it. And then she looks up, and she's doing it to the guy, and then she looks up at him. It just turns.
Yeah, that's hot.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's actually a hot one.
Okay.
That's
okay, folks. I lost that one.
but again, everyone's different.
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Was talking with Nina, and she was like, we went to go see her. When we got back in town, she was giving a class over at the Pleasure Chest, and we went to go see her. And she was talking, she was giving a class on giving head.
Right.
And I just wanted to see her, so we went. And she was talking about how, when you're doing it, this and that, and you look up and your eyes water and the mascara goes down. Now, being on film, you would stop, fix your makeup, this and that. And I said that to him, and he said, "Are you kidding me? That's hot." When a girl, her eyes are watering, she's doing this to you.
Well, if it was really doing it to me, yeah, I could see that.
And the mascara, and I'm like, okay, I'm not a man. I don't know the man's point of view. And then he's this man, and you're that man, and there's a billion more of you out there.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to please everybody?
Right, yeah. I get turned on the doggy style,
Everybody's got, back in the day, there were maybe 40 of us. We all worked together all the time. I knew what the men liked and what would help them get off. Each of the male actors back in the day. Your Jamie Gillis, your John Leslie, your Richard Pacheco, Ron Jeremy, Tom Byron, Mark Wallace.
There's a guy that turned it around.
Peter North.
He went to the other side, they crossed over.
That's what I hear.
I mean, he's done a lot. He does a lot of work on the other side.
I have no idea.
But what Nina was doing, now that's another thing I thought would be great. That's information films, sex education. That's sort of like what she was doing, right?
Well, she was actually teaching classes.
That's what I'm
People
saying.
could go to the
Those kind of
Pleasure
films
Chest and see her.
Oh, great too.
Absolutely. I do have all intentions. I was looking it up. And he pointed it out to me. We bookmarked it about doing sexual education classes and stuff. And I'd like very much to do that. I love teaching. I love being the center of attention. And I like being of service and help too. And if in any way, from my knowledge or any experience I have, can help somebody or teach them or train them or show them how, why wouldn't I?
Those are the things that sell too, for like HBO, Showtime, and other cable networks. That people are interested in. They might not say it, but if it says educational, there's so many people that want to know what it, get that idea of, say, anal sex or whatever, And they want to know about that. They're afraid to ask.
They're afraid to ask.
And you want to make it, you know, if we get into doing it like that, we want to make it fun. And
of course.
It is fun.
It should be fun.
It's all fun.
It's
all fun.
Two people being naked in a bedroom and enjoying the bodies.
3, 4.
Or 3 or 4, whatever.
3, 4.
If
half a dozen.
You know, if you don't like sex.
Oh, party.
You know.
I'm a jacuzzi man. My first experience.
If you are with, you know, a person that turns you on, they're naked and you're wanting to please them, and it is not fun for you.
Sure.
I don't know what to tell you. I really, you know, because we have this mentality, even in the United States, and even with all the Hollywood movies and the HBO shows and all things that come out, we still have, as a society, we still think that sex is bad.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Well, you're Midwest. I'm from LA, so it never was bad.
You know, that we don't talk about sex behind clothes, you know, outside of the bedroom. You know, and so that was all taboo.
But what you were saying earlier, I think it was in the first show, Plato's Retreat, and when I used to go to these places like that, when I left there, I wanted to make the love to someone I cared about. You know, you go in there and you do your brains out with everybody and whatever.
Yeah.
And then you want to go home and, like you said, care about somebody, make love.
Absolutely.
Not just fuck. You want to make love.
Exactly. And there's a difference.
Big difference.
There's a big difference.
And there's nothing wrong with both of them.
Both of them, any kind is wonderful.
Right.
As long as there's a connection.
Well,
right.
And one of the things,
it's the connection.
Well, and one of the things is while I'm not a fan of 50 Shades of Grey, what it did do is it opened, for some odd reason, that was a book, and of course now the movie's going to be coming out, that opened up dialogue. People who weren't normally interested in some kinky stuff, because let's face it, everybody's a little kinky in some fashion. Yeah. Everybody's got a fetish. But what it did was it opened the lines of communication.
Yeah. And that's wonderful. See, that's how Big Cat Daddy and I met. Yeah. I am into the BDSM lifestyle. I've got a little kink in me. And
what does that stand for, so the audience knows?
BDSM.
Bondage, discipline,
sadomasochism.
Yeah.
But for me, because I do not like pain, I call it bondage and discipline sexual magic.
It's good.
I like it like that, but I like adventure. And I'm telling you, there's not a woman out there who didn't sit and read a romance novel where the heroine in there got abducted by a pirate who held her captive as they sailed the seas and ravaged her, and they didn't fall in love. There's not a woman out there who never wanted that to happen. We all did. I still read those books today. I love them. Historical romance novels, and it's about an abduction, and it's wonderful. And that's that fantasy world, that creative, that sensation, that being bound up, it's that way of where your man comes home and he's in and he just takes you and pins you on that wall and kisses you to your toes. That's bondage. You are being held, restrained.
That's an interesting way to put it. See, it's sex education. That's great.
That's bondage. There's things that we were talking. There's soft bondage in the respect of you're sitting with your date on the couch. You're both having a glass of wine. You hand your glass to him and you say to him, "Don't spill a drop." And then you start to tease him and touch him. That's bondage. Yep. He is bound by these glasses not to spill a drop. So there's a lot of, I'm getting goosebumps. I love erotica. I love the tease, which is why I like burlesque so much. Yeah. I love the erotica, the whole idea of it. I want to create something that you're so, I always loved, my favorite movie was The Story of O. And it wasn't because of the bondage in it, it was the erotica of it.
Well, the thing with
you didn't see it.
Is, if you're watching this, and if someone's getting turned on and you learn, that's always a great thing, because you want. I've watched more porn than I really care to count, and I've watched more bad porn than I care to count. right?
Yeah.
The ones that get me going are the ones where I'm seeing these 2 people or 3 people or maybe it's an orgy, whatever it is. If they, I don't care if they're having fun or not. If they appear in this film to be having a great time and enjoying each other, I'm there.
Where you can feel that connection.
I'm there.
You're not there.
You know, I watched.
You're not there, but you feel their connection. You can watch her expressions. If they actually shot it where you could see her get goosebumps, where you could see her body flush, where you can't taste it or smell it, but there's a taste and a smell when you're intimate with somebody. Even your breath changes. If you can somehow make your viewer feel that or almost sense it, that's erotic.
Now, people can call in on your radio show. Why don't you tell them how to get to that? And they can ask you these questions.
They're welcome to call in and ask me anything. Again, it's xxxpornstarradio.com. You go there. I'm on Wednesday nights. Big Cat Daddy is my co-host.
The call-in number is going to be on there as well.
The call-in number is on there as well. It's from 6:15 to 8:15 Pacific Standard Time. So anybody from anywhere, it's on the internet. You can call in, ask me anything you want, talk about anything you want.
Unless it's politics.
Oh yeah, please. I'm sorry, I should say.
No politics.
I prefer not to talk about politics or religion on the show.
Right.
But with regards to sex or sexuality or dating or relationships or anything else, any other of the million categories in the world, feel free to call in. As well as you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at karensummerxxx. Or my website, if you go here, it's karensummerxxx.com. You'll see a page and it says coming soon. And
it's an interesting title, coming soon.
It's coming, C-U-M-M-I-N-G soon.
And it's
spelled exactly how it's spelled as well. And you'll be able to follow me there. Absolutely. And if you're interested in seeing what my up-and-coming merchandise line is coming out with, you can go to e-comics, C-O-M-I-X, and you can download this ash can, which is like a teaser book, 10-page book, myself, Tanya Tate, and you can download that and see the free trailer.
That's really great, and I hope you guys will really come on back on the show.
Absolutely.
And you tell your friends that if they want to come on, I would love to have them come on. If they want to learn about acting, I do teach and this and that. I'd love to get together with some people like yourself in this end and set up some sort of deal where we can get some people to come and teach.
And see what we can do.
And start a,
something.
Something.
Anyway. I know the next thing coming up, like for the business, is the Legends of Erotica and AVN Awards, and that'll be happening in January in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough, I'm being inducted into the Legends of Erotica.
Oh,
and rumor has it I'm going to be in the AVN Hall of Fame as well.
That's wonderful.
So I'm very excited about that.
I see them, they have them in Vegas every year.
Yeah.
They're really like, well, there's some party time going on there.
Yes, absolutely.
He's talking about letting it hang out.
It's all good.
Listen, thank you two for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Oh,
really. God bless and keep coming back, all right?
Absolutely.
Thank you.